Welcome to episode 53 of Sean's Take on Asia, where we touch on the latest news on digital asset development and policy updates. This episode is brought to you near Osaka, Japan, on a gorgeous day with some beautiful snow around us. It is a little bit cold, but reminds me of my good old days in New York and Toronto. Let's spend this episode on the latest crypto-related executive order by President Trump and their implications for Asia and aspirations as digital asset centers. President Trump signed an executive order on January 23, 2025, titled Strengthening American Leadership in Digital Financial Technology. There are 5 critical directives of this executive order. The first is the creation of an internal working group to advise on digital asset policies, focusing on regulatory frameworks and legislative proposals. It is tasked with submitting a report within 6 months. President Trump has also appointed Mark Ueda as the acting chair of the SEC. I had the pleasure of meeting Mark last year and look forward to seeing accelerated development under his leadership. The second is the creation of a national digital asset stockpile, which sounds like it's expanding from just a strategic Bitcoin reserve. The National Digital Asset Reserve may now possibly include other cryptocurrencies, including those seized by law enforcement. The third is the prohibition of central bank digital currencies, and the order explicitly bans the establishment of CBDCs to protect financial stability and individual privacy. This obviously flies in the face of other jurisdictions, and it has been reported that over 70% of countries are evaluating, designing, or have actually launched CBDCs. You can kind of see the rationale here, though, because the US dollar is already so dominant and mostly live in digital format already. So no CBDC, right? What about stablecoins? That is indeed the fourth directive, the promotion of dollar-backed stablecoins. This emphasizes the importance of promoting and protecting the US dollar-backed stablecoins globally, positioning them as a crucial component of the digital asset ecosystem. About 99% of all stablecoins on the market are already US dollar based, so will this further strengthen its position or forces other currencies, jurisdictions to adjust their strategies? The fifth directive emphasizes promoting responsible growth in the digital asset sector while protecting the US dollar's sovereignty and ensuring fair access to banking services. This could potentially end Operation Choke Point 2.0, as banks in the US may finally be opening up to serve crypto clients. This is a big deal. All right, so these are the 5 directives covered in the latest executive order. While an EO doesn't necessarily mean it'll get passed into law, and in fact, some of these will get significantly challenged, I believe. Nevertheless, this EO is as positive as there is a sign that the US is now back leading the way. So what does this mean for Asia, especially jurisdictions that aspire to be leading digital asset hubs? Well, those of us that have been in the industry for some time always knew that when the US turns around, it will happen fast. And while some jurisdictions have indeed moved ahead with virtual asset frameworks and policies over the past couple of years, the pace is still quite slow. Often it ends up in a cycle of endless debates and consultations, and even when these policies are put in place, they are deemed to be so overly restrictive that companies find them challenging to operate under. Also, most of the banks are still highly reluctant to serve crypto clients, despite some encouragements from the government. And that is because they don't have any clear sign from the regulators, and the capital requirements for banks to hold digital assets with a 1,250% risk weight is basically telling them not to bother. I'm all for protecting the investors and ensuring financial integrity are maintained, as crypto remains highly risky and volatile as an asset class. But innovation is equally important as regulation, and thus far from my observations, many jurisdictions put the task of developing the digital asset industry in the hands of regulators, and that will not push the innovation forward in the pace that it needs. So my advice is, hurry up. Being too cautious can kill the momentum, and once the momentum is gone, there's no turning back. That's all for the episode 53 of Sean's Take on Asia. If you like this content, please follow me on LinkedIn and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until next time, keep innovating and keep demonstrating the transformational promise of Web3.